Three kinds of entities. Done, Prabhu.
Also, namaste. Very, very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Till now, what we have seen, it is told here that just as fire resides within the wood, the 11th shloka, yata analo. Yata is the way. Analo means fire. Daruni ruddha virya. Just as fire is within the wood, but farmers may go, woodcutter may go to the farm, jungle and may cut it. A small boy may cut it. But the thing, why we are cutting it? But the grown-up people, they know we are cutting it because we can store it. We can dry it in the summer season. Then in rainy season, we can utilize it for cooking. So there is fire inherent uh, inside the food. So anta sharire arpita bhuta sukshma kalatmikam shaktim udhireyanaha uvasa tasmin shalile pada seve yata anulo daruni ruddha virya. The form of Lord Vishnu, which was submerged inside the Garbhodaka ocean, is compared to as fire is within the stick. Similarly, Vishwanath Chakravarti is mentioning that this aggregate subtle body of the jivas is below the Patala Loka. Basically, there is a globe, half is filled with water. The half which is not filled with water is Akasha, that is 14 planet system. That half which is filled with water, at the bottom of that semicircle, there is Ananta Shesha, and on that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is sleeping. So this Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is not visible to anybody inhabitants of Loka or higher planet system planets. Therefore, is compared to fire within the wood. But what if he is not visible to Loka till Brahma Loka? What to speak of people below that? So therefore, like a layman cannot see fire within the firewood. Similarly, the people of Loka or anybody advanced people in this material world cannot see the Lord. Therefore, that analogy is given. We are seeing, yeah, this one. So Vishnu entered into the lotus of all planets, which reveals all the enjoyable objects from the jivas. Brahma, known as self-born composer of the Vedas, appeared within the lotus. So Chakravarti is mentioning here, lotus made of all the planets called the Vairaja, Talloka Padma, Sa Eva Vishnu, Pravi Vishat Sarva Gunava Bhasham, Tasmin Swayam Vedamayo Vidarat, Swayam Bhuvam Yam Smam Vadanti Sobhut. So he's giving a particular verse, particular name here. What is that name? Viraja. That lotus made of the planets, 14 planet systems, come from that. Is called as Viraja, Vairaja, which is at the time of devastation entered a subtle state. That 14 planet systems has entered subtle state and has gone into the navel of Garbhodaka Vishnu. So now Vishnu as Antaryami entered that lotus, which is inside the navel of Garbhodaka Vishnu. And because of that, it's getting agitated. Pravivishat. That lotus held within itself the manifestation of the effects of all the gunas. Basically, what is that? Lord Vishnu entering by his Kala Shakti, and that is three modes. So that people who have done particular karma, some good karma, they'll go to Swarga, bad karma, they'll go to Naraka, and they'll suffer accordingly. So now he writes here. Someone can read this? Yes, Madan Mohan.
Yes, this highlighted. Prabhuji, highlighted portion. Highlighted portion.
Yes.
Brahma appeared within that lotus. He is called self-born because he has no visible parentage. He was previously merged with Narayana.
Your internet is very, very weak. Somebody else can read.
Brahma appeared
in sleep. When the Lord awoke,
Madan Mohan Prabhu.
he appeared by means of the
Madan
lotus.
Mohan
There
Prabhu.
is the grass.
Haripal.
Okay, Prabhuji.
You are,
Yes, you can. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
you are
Can you
interrupting.
hear me?
No.
Okay, okay. Can somebody can read it then? Okay.
Brahma appeared within that lotus. He is called self-born because he has no visible parentage. He was previously merged with Narayan in sleep. When the Lord awoke, he appeared by means of the lotus. There is the gross form of Brahma called Varaja, the lotus of the planets. There is the subtle form is called Hiranyagarbha. There is also four-headed Brahma, the creator, who appeared from the lotus at this time. Thus, there are three forms of Brahma.
So this is Chakravarti Path's opinion or his commentary. So he gives Banu Maharaj has written here two, or even Acharyas who have written Chakravarti mention is also mentioning. This is according to my opinion, it should be three, but then again he's adding a footnote. According to Rup Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrit, he is telling what it is. Yes, to read. Anush,
Rup Goswami,
yeah.
Rup Goswami in Bhagavatamrit gives only two forms of Brahma. Hiranyagarbha is the subtle form made of Mahat Tattva, is aggregate of the Jivas, and Vairaja is the gross form made of the aggregate of elements, with four heads who creates.
Basically,
According
what he is telling is, Chakravarti Pan is telling is, according to Rup Goswami, the subtle form made of Mahat Tattva, where all the Jivas karma are coming together with the karmas, that is Hiranyagarbha. Vairaja, the gross form of all the elements, and then four-headed. Together are two. These are only two forms. But according to Vishwanath, Hiranyagarbha with Mahatattva is one form, Vairaja with gross form of elements is second form, and the four-headed Brahma is the third form. So basically, Rupa Goswami is mixing both Vairaja and gross and the present Brahma. So according to him, only two are Hiranyagarbha and Vairaja. So now Acharya also have different opinions. So it's very important for us that rather than going to details, we focus on principles. So what we have to learn when we read Bhagavatam is, it is happening. The most important activation factor is Lord Vishnu himself. And yes, Rupa Goswami might tell there are two entities, Hiranyagarbha and Vairaja. And Chakravarti there are three people. There is Hiranyagarbha subtle form, sum total of Mahatattva, of Jivas, then Vairaja, which is sum total of metal elements. Then there is Brahma, who is physically created. So this much understanding we should have, that different acharyas have different opinions. And this is a detail. What is the principle? They are coming from Vishnu himself. Vishnu only is the activating factor. I think we have read this. Brahma, born out of the lotus flower, could not see the world. So now next thing is, Brahma has appeared. He wants to find out who is my mother, who is my father, who is going to give me knowledge. He wants to go to school. He wants to go to Gurukul to gain knowledge. But then he sees there is no mother, there is no father. But he finds that there is one big tunnel, which is the stalk of the lotus, and he's trying to explore. So Prabhupada gives nice commentary. Even Chakravarti Path's commentary is also amazing, and Prabhupada also gives nice commentary telling, chastising the speculators. You cannot understand a lot of speculation or on your own strength. Lord cannot be understood by aroha. He can be understood by descending process, not by ascending process. Tasmadhyuganta svashanavagavurna jalormichakrat salilagvibhudam upashrita kanjamolokatattvam natmanamadavidam adiveda.
Lord, yes, Guruji. Lord Brahma, situated in that lotus, could not perfectly understand the creation, the lotus, or himself. At the end of the millennium, the heir of devastation began to move the water and the lotus in great circular waves. Purport. Lord Brahma was perplexed about his creation, the lotus and the world, even though he tried to understand them for 1 millennium, which is beyond calculation in the solar years of human beings. No one therefore can know the mystery of the creation and cosmic manifestation simply by mental speculation. The human being is so limited in his capacity that without the help of the Supreme, he can hardly understand the mystery of the will of the Lord in terms of creation, continuance, and destruction.
You can read Mata this one.
Brahma was bewildered about how to create what had previously been created in order to show the people that his power to create the universe does not belong to him, but is given to him by the Lord.
Yes, basically, his creation strength is not of his own, it is given to him by the Lord. Also, is previously created. So, here Chakravarti Pad, if you see carefully, he's telling that Brahma already knows creation. Again, why he has to do it? So basically, he is trying to explain, correlating it with the end of the day of Brahma, when the water rises to Maharloka. Why? Because the analogy of fire within inside the wood. So, according to that comment, if you see carefully, Maharloka to Brahmaloka people can see. So what he's trying to tell is, his opinion is that okay, Brahma is being created here, but Brahma is also knowing the creation creates life. But he's trying to show that without the mercy of the Lord, this cannot be created. So what is the most important factor? That Lord is one who empowers even Brahma. So that is what is being highlighted here. Kayeshayoso aham abja prishta etat kuto vabjamanya ananya dakshu asti adasta iha kinchanaitat adistitam yatra satanubhavyam vimovyam. Yes, Bhaja Hari Prabhu.
Lord Brahma, in his ignorance, contemplated, who am I, situated on the top of this lotus? What is this solitary lotus on the vast water, and where from it has sprout? There must be something downward, and that from which this lotus has grown must be within the water. Shall I read ahead, Prabhu?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, please continue the purport.
The most intelligent man is he who tries to find the cause of his personal existence and that of the whole cosmic creation, and thus tries to find the ultimate cause. If its attempt is properly executed within finances and performances, it is to be sure crowned with success.
Yes. So Prabhupada is writing here. So Prabhupada is trying to write here that subject matter of the speculation of Brahma in the beginning regarding the creation of the cosmic manifestation is still a subject matter for mental speculators. So subject matter for the mental speculators. So what is that? Where we have come from? What is the source? So all the mental speculators, they only try to go from ascending process, not the descending process. So Brahma also tried to, by ascending process, is trying to find out, who am I seated on the top of this lotus? What is this solitary lotus? What is this water? You could hear the waves of bottom. There go the ocean waves. When you go in at the shore of the waves, shore of the ocean, you can hear the ocean waves. So Brahma is sitting on the lotus. and that lotus is inside the ocean, Garbhodaka ocean, and it is connected to the Lord's navel. So it is shaking, so that he is able to hear that sound. So he enters inside the tunnel of the lotus. But next Prabhupada will speak about it. He's entering tunnel and he goes to the point of Mahavishnu, Garbhodaka Vishnu, but he doesn't understand anything. So the scientists, philosophers, mental speculators, their desire to go by rocket or by that mental speculation is like Brahma's trying to find the creation, the source of the creation. It's not possible. So there must be something downwards, and from that it has come. So he starts walking inside. So Prabhupada is correlating with the mental speculators, their desire to find the source. But Prabhupada says success is possible only by penance and perseverance. Penance, to perform sadhana bhakti in the right parampara, like utsahat, nishchayat, dhairyat. One should try to serve a spiritual master, have patience, have enthusiasm, and be determined. Then success will be guaranteed. Saitam udviksha tat abjanala nadi virantar jalama vivesha narvagatastat paranala nala nabim vichinvam stadavindatacha. Charana Ravinda Prabhu. In Charanavandarinda Prabhu has logged off, or he is available but he is not available. Subha Lakshmi Mataji, you read.
Entered the water through the channel of the stem of the lotus. But in spite of entering the stem,
Mataji, unable to hear you. Sound is very low.
Anushku, is my sound loud enough?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Audible, na?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, it's not very
Yes,
loud.
Lord Brahma, thus contemplating, entered the water through the channel of the stem of the lotus. But in spite of entering the stem and going nearer to the navel of Vishnu, he could not trace out the root. By dint of one's personal endeavor, one may go nearer to the Lord, but without the Lord's mercy, one cannot reach the ultimate point. Such understanding of the Lord is possible only by devotional service, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18.65. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan nishchati tattvataha.
Yes. Basically, not by personal endeavor. He's trying to go through the tunnel. How much time it might have taken for Brahma to go from that? How much long it is, and from there to go down to the bottom of the universe and then come back again. Tamasya pare viduratmasargam vichidmato abhu sumaham strinemi yodeha bhajam vayam Parikshinoti ayurajasya heti. Yes, Ausha, Yashika Mataji.
O Vidura, while searching for the cause of his existence in that way, Brahma reached his ultimate time. Time is the eternal wheel in the hand of Vishnu and generates the fear of death in the mind of the living entity.
Brahma could understand that not by my physical endeavor I can understand, I should surrender. Tato nivritto pratilabdha kama swadishniyam asadhya punassadevah sanairjitasvasa nivritta chitto Anyasidada samadhi yoga. So understood, not by my mental, by my endeavor, physical. Pratyaksha. I can find this Anumana, but I have to do Shabda, I have to meditate. Anand Mohan Group, please start. I think everybody is over. Today we have a small circle. Yes.
Thereafter, being unable to achieve the desired destination, he retired from such searching and came back again to the top of the lotus. Thus, controlling his breathing, he concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord. Purport: Samadhi involves concentrating the mind upon the supreme cause of all, even if one is unaware of whether his actual nature is personal, impersonal, or localized. Concentration of the mind on the Supreme is certainly a form of devotional service. To cease from personal sense endeavors and to concentrate on the Supreme Cause is a sign of self surrender. And when self surrender is present, that is sure sign of devotional service. Each and every living entity needs to engage in devotional service to the Lord if he wishes to understand the ultimate cause of his existence.
Yes, Prabhupada is so broad-minded here. He's telling because Brahma he could not find, just controlling his breath, he concentrated his mind on Supreme Lord. So, Supreme Lord, its translation is mentioning a Supreme Lord. Samadhi Yoga, but only Nyasid Arudha Samadhi Yoga. But Prabhupada is mercifully it's Supreme Lord. It is even telling Samadhi involves if somebody concentrates his mind upon supreme cause of all, even if one is unaware of whether his actual nature is personal, impersonal, or localized, basically Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, if somebody is focusing on Samadhi, Supreme Lord, concentration of the mind on the Supreme is certainly a form of devotional service. Means he is even accommodating, even meditating on Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. That is the beginning step. That is like surrender. That is surrendering process. To cease from personal sense endeavor, like Brahma was trying his best to go through tunnel, test the Lord, test his navel, but not understand. But now his time came to surrender. So therefore, firstly, that to cease from personal sense endeavors and to concentrate on the supreme cause. Like Lord, who is this cause? I can't understand him by pratyaksha. I can't understand my personal endeavor. Let me surrender to him. Whether it's Brahman, Brahman, Bhagavan, doesn't matter. But surrender is a sign of devotional service. And if someone wants to become successful, he should ultimately practice bhakti. Kalena soja purushayushabhi purushayushabhi. So how much long he meditated? Kalena so aja purushayushabhi. So Chakravarti Bhai mentioned this purushayushabhi in Kali Yuga's people's 100 years. But Prabhupada mentions no. Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Swami's commentary. This is not a Kali Yuga, it's not human 100 years. It's not human Ayu. It is Divya Yugas. And is quoting Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmana Yudu. Basically, it is Brahma's 100 years. Pravritta Yogena Viruddha Bodha Swayam Tadantar Hridaye Avabhatam Apashyata Pashyata Yanna Purvam Apashyata. That which was apashyata became pashyata, which was invisible before it became visible by meditating for purushayushabhi. By what? Pravritta yoga, Viruddha bodha, by meditation on the Supreme with intelligence. That which was he started meditating with antara hridaya, that is visible bhakti. That which is invisible before became visible. Apashyata, he saw, did see, purvam. He could see which he could not see before. Yes, Mata, you can.
Yes. At the end, translation, at the end of Brahma's 100 years, when his meditation was complete, he developed the required knowledge, and as a result, he could see within his heart the Supreme, whom he could not see before with the greatest endeavor. Purport: the Supreme Lord can be experienced only through the process of devotional service and not by one's personal endeavor in mental speculation. The age of Brahma is calculated in terms of Divya years, which are distinct from the solar years of human beings. The Divya years are calculated in Bhagavad Gita 8.17 Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu. Brahma's one day is equal to 1000 times the aggregate of the 4 yugas, calculated to be 43 lakhs years. On that basis, Brahma meditated for 100 years before he could understand the supreme cause of all causes. And then he wrote the Brahma Samhita, which is approved and recognized by Lord Chaitanya, and in which he sings Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. One has to wait for the mercy of the Lord before one can either render service unto him or know him as he is.
Mentioning here, this is Brahma's 100 years. Chakravarti mentions, if you want to know, just show one of you. Because after some time when you read some commentary, you should not feel, what is this Puji? Two acharyas are telling differently. Yeah, they can tell. So, Mother, can you read this one?
Yes.
By
By his practice of meditation on the Lord for 100 human years, he attained realization of the Lord. He saw the Lord who manifested himself in his heart, who could not be seen previously by searching.
Yes.
Purushayusa means by 100 years.
Ayusha. Purusha plus Ayusha becomes Purusha.
Ayusha. Okay. Purusha Ayusha means by 100 years. This shloka be understood to be time according to the calculation of human life in Kali Yuga. When
Yes.
Maitreya was speaking.
That's it. Basically, two different acharyas can have two different understandings. So detail, one should not go by detail, one should accept the principle. What is that? Brahma meditated. Now, Prabhupada may say it is Purusha Ayusha as Brahmas, and Chakravarti may say it as Kali Yuga people. But once what problem starts when you go into detail, how can it possible? But the principle is he meditated, he took up the bhakti process. That is the principle. Mrunala Gaura Yatasesha Bhoga Parayantekam Purusham Sayanam Panapatra Yutamurta Ratna Dyuvir Hata Dvanta Yuganta Toye. Yes.
Brahma could see that on the water there was a gigantic lotus-like white bedstead, the body of Sheshnag, on which the personality of Godhead was lying alone. The whole atmosphere was illuminated by the rays of the jewels bedecking the hoods of Sheshnag, and that illumination dissipated all the darkness of those regions.
Yes. Basically, at half the universe is filled with water. In Garbhodaka ocean down, there is Ananta Shesha, which is white, because the bottom portion of the Ananta Shesha is white. His grip, and then on that, bedecked with lot of jewels, he was bedecked with hundreds of his boots, and on him is Lord resting, and the jewels on his head, the light coming from it is dissipating all the darkness around. This is the scene which Brahma gets the vision. Basically, gets the darshan of Brahma, Garbhodaksha Vishnu along with Ananta Shesha. Riksham Shipantam Haritopaladre Sandhya Pradive Rukma Murna Ratno Dadara Shauri Somanasya Vanoksha Jovenu Bujangri Pangre.
The luster of the transcendental body of the Lord mocked the beauty of the coral mountain. The coral mountain is very beautifully dressed by the evening sky, but the yellow dress of the Lord mocked its beauty. There is gold on the summit of the mountain, but the Lord's helmet bedecked with jewels mocked it. The mountain's waterfalls, herbs, etc., with a panorama of flowers, seem like garlands, but the Lord's gigantic body and his hands and legs, decorated with jewels, pearls, tulsi leaves, and flower garlands, mocked the scene on the mountain. Nature's panoramic beauty, which strikes one with wonder, may be taken as a perverted reflection of the transcendental body of the Lord. One who is therefore attracted by the beauty of the Lord is no longer attracted by the beauty of material nature, although he does not minimize its beauty. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.59, it is explained that one who is attracted by Param, the Supreme, is no longer attracted by anything inferior.
Param Drushpa Nivartante. Vishaya Nivartante Nirarasya Dena Visavarjya Sampasya from Vishwani Vartate. So basically, 11 to 22 spoke about Brahma's, Vidura's, Maitreya Rishi's description about the creation of Brahma from Mahavishnu, from Garbhodaka Vishnu, and from 23rd to 33 Vidura is being spoken about the glories of beauty of Lord Garbhodaka Vishnu by Maitreya Rishi. How Brahma is taking darshan of Garbhodaka Vishnu, and what kind of beauty of Lord is appreciating. That is what Maitreya Rishi is relating to Vidura from 23rd to 33rd. So he's comparing Mahavishnu, so Garbhodaka Vishnu, with different things of this world, analogies. So all these are analogies. If you see carefully from the previous one, this is about the description. The whole atmosphere is illuminated by the rays of the jewel bedecking the boots of Sheshna, illuminated, dissipated all the darkness of the whole source region like sun. And here it is, the body of the Lord is Coral Mountain. The Coral Mountain is very beautiful, especially the evening sky. Basically, all the demigods, Gandharvas, everybody, that is a sporting place for them. There is gold on that summit of the mountain. So Lord, basically, the type of scenery this Mandara Parvat has, that is a Coral Mountain, Meru Parvat, Mandara Parvat, where Gajendra was trying to sport along with all his family people. So Lord's beauty is compared to that. His body was so huge with all the jewels. So different limbs of his body is compared to the different analogies of this mountain. Ayamato vistarasvamana dehena lokatraya sangrahena vichitra divya varanam shukanam krita sriya shridaveshadeham.
His transparent body, unlimited in length and breadth, occupied the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. His body was self-illuminated by unparalleled breadth and variegatedness, and was properly ornamented.
Yes, to read the book.
The length and breadth of the transcendental body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead could only be measured by his own measurement, because he is all-pervading throughout the complete cosmic manifestation. The beauty of material nature is due to his personal beauties, yet he is always magnificently dressed and ornamented to prove his transcendental variegatedness, which is so important in the advancement of the spiritual knowledge.
Yes. The magnanimity, the greatness of the Lord is being discussed here. If you see in most of South Indian temples or the Vedashams, you will see it's most of the time it is Garbhodaka Vishnu only. Like Shantakara, Ranganath is Garbhodaka Vishnu, Appala Ranganath. Basically, all the South Indian temples, the Vedashams, except some, most of them are Garbhodaka Vishnu, some are Mahavishnu, some पुंसां स्वकामाय विविक्तमार्गे अभायार्चतं कामधुमङ्घ्रिपाद्मं प्रादार्शयन्तं कृपया न केन्दु मयूकभिन्नङ्गुलिचारुपत्रम्. Yes, Lord's lotus feet and nails are being discussed here. Yes, Sachin, please read.
The Lord showed his lotus feet by raising them. His lotus feet are the source of all awards achieved by those who worship him in pure devotional service, free from all material contamination. Splendid transcendental rays emanated from his moon-like toe nails and the nails of his petal-like fingers.
Petal-like fingers, yes.
According to the
No,
Gopal
read full purport, Guruji. We have a lot of time today.
The Lord fulfills the desire of everyone just as one desires. Pure devotees are interested in achieving the transcendental service of the Lord, which is non-different from him. Therefore, the Lord is the only desire of the pure devotees, and devotional service is the only spotless process for achieving his favor. Srila Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11 that pure devotional service is Jnana Karmadya Anavratam. CC Madhya 19.1.67. Pure
Pure devotional service is without any tinge of speculative knowledge or fruitive activities. Such devotional service uh, such devotional service is able to award the pure devotee the higher result, namely direct association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna, according to the Gopal Shastri Upanishad, the Lord stored one of the many thousands of petals of his lotus feet. In that Upanishad, it is also said, Brahmano Sava Anavratam Me Dhayato Saha Parardante So Udayata Yopa Vidyo Me Urustata Avirbhava. After meditating for millions of years, Lord Brahma could understand the transcendental form of the Lord as Sri Krishna in the dress of a cowherd boy. Thus, Brahma recorded his experience in the Brahma Stuti, Brahma Savita, the famous prayer whose verses and use the words Govinda Adipurkam Tamaham Bhajan.
Yes. So let's see what Chakravarti has to speak about the prayers which you have seen till now. From 20 to 20, yeah, 22 we started, 23rd. So he's telling 9 verses describe the Lord. Jewels on top of millions of foods acting as jewels which are present on the 1,000 head, millions of foods of Ananta Shesha, who is the bedstead of Lord Garbhodaka Vishnu. He is acting like umbrellas over the Lord, destroyed the darkness of the waters of devastation. In complexion of his form derided an emerald mountain. His yellow cloth derided a cloud encircling that mountain at sunset. His crown derided the shining mountain peak. His garland derided the jewels, streams, herbs, flowers, decorating the mountain. Basically, mountain has so many things. When sunset happening, the shine of the mountain, many natural lovers, nature lovers, they want to go and take photos and other things. When the stream is flowing, when you go to from Pune to Mumbai for Lonavala, or when you go there, when it's raining, a lot of streams come and people want to see through the train. Basically, this is beauty. But the Lord's beauty, that beauty of that nature was surpassed by the Lord. His arms derided the bamboos growing on the upper portion of the mountain, and his feet derided the trees growing at its base. Yes. Madan Mohan, can you read this? If you are
Yes, yes,
good. Yes, please read.
And that form surpassed any comparison with an emerald mountain. His form derided all comparison because of his great beauty. His yellow cloth debased the beauty of clouds circling a mountain in the evening. His crown derided the great brightness on the peak of mountain. His tulsi pearl and flower garlands derided the garlands composed of jewels, flowers, herbs, and streams on the mountain. Forest garland can represent all types of garlands, or it can mean one garland made of flowers and jewels. One mala is said to be garland of leaves and flower reaching the feet. The word one mala can stand for other types of garland as well, made of jewels or pearls. His arms derided the bamboos high on the mountains, and his feet derided the trees at the base of mountain.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Shall I read one? Translation. He saw the Lord who manifested any clothing he desired, with the body unlimited in breadth and length, spreading over Swarga, Earth, and lower planets. Swarga, Earth, and the lower planets, displaying great beauty with various ornaments and clothing. His body was dimensions according to his position as God. The other meaning is his body was immeasurable, suamana, in length and breadth. This is then made clear. His body spread over the 3 worlds. His various astonishing ornaments and cloths created beauty. He had the power of having any clothing he desired. Aparasrita veshada iham.
Pumsam sokamaya viktamarge abhyarchatam kama duhangri padmam pradarshyantam kripaya nakendu mayukabhinam vicharu patram. It's a very nice place. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. He saw that Lord mercifully showing one lotus foot which fulfilled the desire for service for person who worship to attain the Lord by pure methods of bhakti.
This is very clearly mentioned here. That is the reason Prabhupada is mentioning that purport, that devotees approach the Lord. Lord is yata tato yata arthan vedata shashvatarbha samabhya. Ishopanishad mantra 8 says about it. Anybody can approach Lord for his material that will be fulfilled. But especially Shloka is speaking about Brahma's purity. He is approaching the Lord for bhakti. Therefore, he is going to award bhakti to him. Therefore, devotees approach Lord with bhakti, they are awarded bhakti. Please read, Prabhu.
He saw the lotus feet which were fulfilling the desires of those who worship on spirit or with the desire for attaining the Lord, or for satisfying the Lord with service. Vivikta marga Vivikta marga, he means bypass Arazanga Bhava marga with Dasya Sakhya or other. Yes, there is the power is fluctuating, Prabhu. That is the problem. Power is the problem. His Wi-Fi is arising from UAD. Can you hear me?
We will ask someone to read. We'll ask someone to read. Subhalakshmi Mataji, please read.
He saw the lotus feet which were fulfilling desires of those who worship on special paths for fulfilling their desires, swakamaya, or with the desire for attempting the Lord's work, or for satisfying the Lord with service. Vivikta marga he means by paths which were not mixed with jnana or karma. Or it can mean by pure paths arising from Vaidhi or Raganuga Bhava Marga and Dasya, with Dasya, Sakya or other rasas. Those feet fulfill the desires for serving properly, Kamaduga. He showed only one foot among many thousands of his feet by lifting it up slightly.
Yeah, that is the shloka. Pumsam swakamaya vivikta marga. Swa refers to Lord himself who want Lord. Swakamaya means their own desires. Vivikta marga matlab karma jnana, whatever different. But yes, for those who want him, Lord gives him. And that process for that is bhakti. Vayashitam kama duhangri padmam. Padarshitam krapaya nakendu mukaya vinnam muli charu patram. Yes. Continue, Mataji. Read the second paragraph.
By this hint and moving one eyebrow in the next verse, it is indicated the Lord showed his form as Krishna, though Krishna appears only later during Vaivasvata Manvantara to Brahma in this and the next two verses. Other scriptures also indicate that Krishna revealed himself to Brahma. Tanu Vacha Brahmanos Sadanam Charato me Gyata Stita So after passing the first half my lifetime, when the night ended, I meditated and praised the Lord who appeared in the dress of a cowherd boy before me. Gopala Tapani Upanishad, Brahma Samhita also describes how Lord Krishna showed himself to Brahma. Thus, some say that revealing one foot in this verse refers to the form of Krishna, who stands with his feet crossed, showing one sole of his feet.
Yes, this is what I wanted all of you to do.
His toes were like graceful petals opened by the rays from his moonlight toenails. What is astonishing here is that the lotus is blossoming in the moonlight instead of the sunlight.
So this is 20. Next two shlokas is Lord Krishna giving darshan to Lord Brahma. It is very, very important shloka. Very it's a recitation. Now Krishna is smiling. Lord's smiling glance. Prabhupada writes a very nice purport. मुखेन लोकार्तिहरस्मितेन परिष्फुरत् कुण्डलमण्डितेन शून्यायितेनाधरबिम्बभाष प्रत्यारहन्यन्तं सुनासेन सुब्रवः. Lord is raising his eyebrows. Sunasena, beautifully formed nose, raised nose. Pratyarayantam, reciprocating. Sunasena, pleasing nose. Subrava, pleasing eyebrows. Mukhena lokarti harasmitena. Smitena, Prabhupada comments on the smitena. Lord is smiling. So now Lord's face is being described. Till now, he is the body, he is lotus feet. It is going in the order: body, comparison of the mountain, then lotus feet, raising one lotus feet for fulfilling different desires of the living entities in different yogas. Now the focus is going on Brahma, Lord's lotus feet. Like Bhagavatam is compared to the 10 cantos, different limbs. The 10th canto comes to Lord's face. So now Lord's face is being zoomed in here. Sunasa, Subhruva. So this is 27th and 20th. But basically Lord Krishna is giving darshan here. That is what Chakravarti was mentioning in this purport. Yes. Sachi Sundari Mataji.
Translation. He also acknowledged the service of the devotees and vanquished their distress by his beautiful smile. The reflection of his face, decorated with earrings, was so pleasing because it dazzled with the rays from his lips and the beauty of his nose and eyebrows. Purport. Devotional service to the Lord is very much obliging to him. There are many transcendentalists in different fields of spiritual activities, but devotional service to the Lord is unique. Devotees do not ask anything from the Lord in exchange for their service. Even the most desirable liberation is refused by devotees, although offered by the Lord. Thus, the Lord becomes a kind of debtor to the devotees, and he can only try to repay the devotees' service with his ever enchanting smile. The devotees are ever satisfied by the smiling face of the Lord, and they become enlivened. And by seeing the devotees so enlivened, the Lord himself is further satisfied. So there is continuous transcendental competition between the Lord and his devotees by such a reciprocation of service and acknowledgement.
Regarding Gopalta Upanishad, he's taking it from Chakravarti Path. That after meditating for millions of years, Lord Brahma could understand the transcendental form of Lord Shri Krishna, the dress of God boy. Thus, Brahma recorded his experience in Brahma Samhita. So basically, because he meditated, he took shelter, Samadhi Yoga. So Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu, through him, although he's trying to take his darshan, but he's getting the revelation because Krishna is only source of Chaturvivya, second Chaturvivya, Sankarshana, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaka Vishnu, but he is getting special darshan of Lord Krishna here by his beautiful smile, showing that he is pleased with him. Kadamba kinjal kapishanga vasasa salangrata mekalaya nitambe harena chanantadanena vatsa shri vatsa vaksha stalavallabhena. So what are things below the face till the navel is being described here. Kadamba kinjal kapishanga vasasa Swalankrita mekalaya viditamba harena chananta danena vatsa Sri vatsa vakshasthala vallabhena. Yes. Who's remaining now? Yashika Munja Mataji did Bajari Pro after that.
Font, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am not able to read because the font is very small. Hare Bol.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Translation. Oh my dear Vidura, the Lord waist was covered. The Lord.
Yes.
Oh my dear Vidura, the Lord's waist was covered with yellow cloth resembling the saffron dust of the kadamba flower, and it was encircled by a well-decorated belt. His chest was decorated with the Sri Vatsa mark and a necklace of unlimited value.
परार्धकेयूर्मणि प्रवेकः परस्त्यदोर्दान्दसहस्रशाकम् अव्यक्तमूलं भुवनग्रिपेन्द्रं महीन्द्रभोगे हरि वित्वल्सम्. Vaj Hari Prabhu. You're able to see this? Oh, no issue. Yes. You need to unmute. Yeah. Please read from starting. Unmute yourself.
Prabhuji, is it me? As a sandalwood tree is decorated with fragrant flowers and branches, the Lord's body was decorated with valuable jewels and pearls. He was the self-situated tree, the Lord of all others in the universe. And as a sandalwood tree is covered with many snakes, so the Lord's body was also covered by the hoods of Anantadeva.
So Lord's
Purport.
body is compared here to sandalwood, and sandalwood actually basically attracts snakes. So Lord is like sandalwood, and the Ananta Shesh is like a snake who's encircling the sandalwood. Yes, Prabhu.
The word Avyakta Moolam is significant here. Generally, no one can see the roots of a tree, but as far as the Lord is concerned, He is the root of Himself, because there is no other separate cause of His standing but Him. In the Vedas, it is said that the Lord is Swashraya Shraya. He is His own support, and there is no other support for Him. Therefore, Avyakta means the Supreme Lord Himself and no one else.
Please read this Chakravarti Path commentary. We have opulence of reading both commentaries today.
Thanks.
Wait 1 minute. 27th one. Smitena. Mukarti Loka Smitena. Parispurat Kundala Mandika. Yes. Translation also I can read. Yes, translation is little different.
The Lord respected His servants by a face slightly smiling to destroy the devotee's suffering due to separation, ornamented with bright earrings, red lips, graceful nose, and with movement of one attractive eyebrow. The Lord returns the devotee's worship by worshipping them, Pratyaharhayantam, through showing His beautiful face. He repays the debt of the devotee's service by this. Since the devotees do not accept material gifts or liberation, His smile destroys the suffering of the devotees and also the suffering out of longing to see Him. He shows one beautiful eyebrow, Subhruva. This indicates a confidential emotion of Krishna. Those who receive such worship by the Lord are actually special devotees.
So he is telling one very nice thing here. Pratyarhayantam is Lord giving darshan to his devotees, is Lord worshipping his devotees. This is a Sikh Chakravarti Path commentary. Amazing. Yes, you can read this also.
O Vidura, the Lord wore cloth the color of golden kadamba, pullan around his waist, and a belt. On his chest, marked with the Srivatsa mark, was a necklace of unlimited value. O Vidura Vatsa, he had a necklace dear to the place on his chest, having the Srivatsa mark.
Vatsa. This word is coming Vatsa here. That is referring to Vidura. That is what he is trying to tell. Yes, next.
As a sandalwood tree is decorated with fragrant flowers and branches, The Lord's body was decorated with valuable jewels and pearls. As the sandalwood tree spreads its branches everywhere, the Lord spreads his arms over the universe. As the tree's root cannot be seen, the Lord's origin cannot be understood. As the sandalwood tree is the king of trees, the Lord protects the world by his great power. As the sandalwood tree is covered with many snakes, so the Lord's shoulders were touched by the hoods of Ananta.
So nice. Yes, Guru.
Because his fame perfumes the whole universe, the Lord is compared to a sandalwood tree. He had thousands of arms which spread all over the universe, Paryasta, like 1,000 branches of a tree. His source cannot be traced out, since he is beginningless, just as sandalwood tree's root cannot be traced out. So Atma Swashraya Shrayaha. The Lord is his own shelter. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.10.9. The comparison with a tree is clear. By 1 foot he protects the worlds, Bhuvana Angripa, and has great power, Indram. This refers to his control over the Ekapada Vibhuti, the extent of the material world. In terms of trees, the sandalwood tree is the king of trees, Angripa, in the world. The Lord has his shoulders touched, Advita, by the hoods or limbs of the Shesha. Shruti says, Shatavalso Viroha, O tree, with 100 branches, grow. Shatapaha Brahmana, 3.6.4.16. The sandalwood tree's branches, Valsam, are surrounded by many snakes. Brahma saw the Lord as the friend of Ananta, just as Malaya mountain shelters the king of snakes. He was embraced by the Garbhodaka ocean, just as that mountain is covered with streams, and he wore crowns like 1,000 mountain pinnacles of gold. Holding on his form, the Kaustuba gem, just as the Malaya mountain has one shining peak and contains mines full of jewels. Having compared the Lord to a sandalwood tree, he now compares the Lord to a sandalwood mountain to show that the Lord is his own shelter. The Lord is the Malaya mountain, Mahindram, the shelter of moving and non-moving entities. He is the friend of the king of snakes, Ananta, just as the mountain is the friend of the king of snakes. He is embraced by water, the Garbhodaka or the milk ocean, just as the Malaya mountain is decorated with streams. He has thousands of golden pinnacles with his thousands of crowns. Malaya mountain is famous for its one golden pinnacle. On his form is the Kaustuba jewel, just as Malaya mountain has many jewel mines.
Okay.
He saw the Lord endowed with a garland made of his own glory, who was surrounded by the Vedas, singing his glories like bees, and who was not understood by the devatas of the sun, moon, air, or fire. He was hard to reach because he was surrounded by his associates and weapons, all made of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Having described a mountain, he now shows that this is the Lord. Nivitam means endowed with. He cannot be understood by the devatas such as the sun, moon, Vayu, or Agni. He is hard to attain because of being surrounded by his associates like Jaya and Vijaya, who have bodies made of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, Tridhamabhihi, or by his spiritual weapons such as the Chakra, who protects the Lord. 3.8.32. Desiring to create variety in the universe, Brahma saw nothing except the lotus coming from the water in Vishnu's navel, himself, and the three elements, water, air, and ether. He saw the lotus in Vishnu's navel, himself in the lotus, and the three elements water, air, and ether all around him. He did not see anything else, such as earth or fire. He had a desire, drishti, to create sarga, variety, vividha in the worlds. 3.7.33 Influenced by rajas and intent on creating, desiring to create the offspring, Brahma glanced at the lotus and the elements as the ingredients of creation. Concentrating his mind on the Lord, he began to praise the Lord, worthy of worship. Intent on creating, looking at the lotus himself, the water, air, and ether, iyat, as ingredients for his creation, karma bijam, Brahma thought, how shall I create? I will surrender to the Lord. Giving up absorption in creation, he concentrated his mind, Atma, on the Supreme Lord, Avyakta Vartamani. Thus ends the commentary on 8th chapter of the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam for the pleasure of the devotees in accordance with the previous acharyas.
Yes. We'll just read Prabhupada. I'll explain some things which Prabhupada has written. Characharauka Bhagavan Mahindram Ahindra Shalilopagodam Kirita Sahasra Hiranya Sangam Avir Bhavat Kaustubaratna Garbam. Yes, Mataji, can you?
Like a great translation, like a great mountain, the Lord stands as the abode for all moving and non-moving living entities. He is the friend of the snakes because Lord Ananta is his friend. As a mountain has thousands of golden peaks, so the Lord was seen with the thousands of golden helmeted hoods of Anantanaga. And as a mountain is sometimes filled with jewels, so also his transcendental body was fully decorated with the valuable jewels. As a mountain is sometimes submerged in the ocean water, so the Lord is sometimes submerged in the water of devastation.
Nivittamamnaya madhuvratashriya swakirti maya vanamalayam hari suryendu vagyagni agamam tridamabi parikrama pradinikair durasadam. Yes.
Can you scroll down?
Yes.
Can't hear Prabhuji. You are on mute.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Lord Brahma, thus looking upon the Lord in the shape of a mountain, concluded that he was Hari, the personality of Godhead. Brahma saw that the garland of flowers on the Lord's chest glorified him with the Vedic wisdom in sweet songs and looked very beautiful. He was protected by the Sudarshan wheel for fighting, and even the sun, moon, air, fire, etc. could not have access to him.
Tari eva tanavisara sarojam atmanamammu swashanam viyacha tadarsha devo jagato vidataha nata param loka visarga drishti nata.
When Lord Brahma, the maker of the universal destination, thus saw the Lord, he simultaneously glanced over creation. Lord Brahma saw the lake in Lord Vishnu's navel and the lotus flower, as well as the devastating water, the drying air, and the sky, all became visible to him.
Yes. 5 things he is seeing here. He saw Lord Vishnu's navel, he saw the lotus flower, he saw the water, the drying air, and the sky. So these 5 things, what Brahma is seeing. Lord Brahma saw when he took darshan, when he got meditation, when he got darshan, Lord Vishnu's navel, the lotus flower from that navel, devastating water in which it is drying, the drying air, and the sky all became visible to him. These are the 5 things by which he is going to create. This is the karma beach, which is mentioned in the next shloka. Sakarma bijam rajaso paraptaha Raja Shishikshani Yadev Drishta Astau Visharga Bhukastam Ityam Avyaktavartmani Aviveshitatma.
Lord Brahma, thus being surcharged with the mode of passion, became inclined to create, and after seeing the 5 causes of creation indicated by the personality of Godhead, he began to offer his respectful prayers on the path of the creative mentality. Purport also, even if one is in the material mode of passion to create something in the world, he has to take shelter of the Supreme for the necessary thing, energy. That is a path of the successful termination of any attempt. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 3rd canto, 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Manifestation of the Brahma from Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
Yes. So here it is mentioned 5 causes of creation indicated by personal recorded. That is already this is what is the karma wish? These are the 5 causes. The lake, lotus flower,
What is meant by drying air?
air which dries, water which devastates. Basically, during pralaya time, na, this water devastates, the air dries, the sky will not do anything. So in pralaya, different effects they have. So that is what is being mentioned here.
Okay, Braju.
Okay, we completed this chapter.
Lake also, like first time we saw this lake in the Lord's navel.
Yes. Yes, Lord's navel lake is always there, especially in Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. It's called Padmanabha. So in that, from that lake, like basically lotus comes from the lake. When you see any pond, lotus is born in the ponds, lakes. So Lord Vishnu's navel is like a lake from which this devastating water is there. And from that comes a bluish karmic Hiranyagarbha kind of lotus, which is glanced by the Lord. And from that sprouts what? The creation. Okay.
Yeah,
What
thanks.
is the big question? We are able to see the lotus being made by Shika Mataji. Hare Krishna. So land here now. It's already, we have completed this chapter. We had enough time, therefore I was saying of Shri Chakravarti Pa's commentary. Tomorrow we'll begin from the 4th chapter. Next chapter. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vasit Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai. One more thing. Please submit your OBS. The OBS will start getting checked. 1 unit, one week. So next 5 weeks, your 6 OBS which you have submitted will get checked. After that, the evaluator has nothing to be checked. So kindly send your OBS.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This unit has 5 chapters.
Yes, Anushnu.
This unit has 5 chapters.
5 chapters, sir.
I did not see the handbook.
You have sent me, na? I'll just check. Till 9th, I thought only 4 chapters. Let's see. Is there then?
I think 4 only. So maybe 7 completed. 8. So we have completed this unit. Huh?
Unit, na?
Yes, very.
Yes. Then we'll end. In the morning, I'm having back-to-back classes. I'm also a little tired.
Okay, very.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And please submit your OBS quickly. Whatever pending. Take out time, whatever 20 minutes, start writing. Utilize it for. Hare Krishna.